My wife invited the whole city to her gallery opening. She just forgot one thing: the guest who knew everything. There is a specific kind of cold that settles in your chest when you realize your entire life has been a carefully constructed stage play. I'm Nolan. For 8 years, I was the stable one, the guy who worked double shifts at the logistics firm so my wife, Sloan, could pursue her dream of being a high-end lifestyle curator. She spent my paychecks on vintage wine, luxury linens, and a social circle that looked down on guys like me, guys with grease under their fingernails and a mortgage they actually pay. The cracks didn't just appear, they shattered. It started with a forgotten dry cleaning receipt for a men's silk tie I'd never seen. Then, it was the late-night charity committee meetings that always seemed to leave her smelling like expensive cigars and wood smoke, things I don't own. I didn't yell. I didn't even ask. I just went to the local diner, sat in the back booth, and waited for the person who had sent me that cryptic DM, a woman named Clara. Clara sat across from me, her hands trembling as she pulled out a manila envelope. "My husband is Julian," she whispered. "He's the mentor Sloane's been talking about. But he isn't mentoring her on business. Nolan. He's been paying for the hotel suites they use every Thursday afternoon." We didn't cry. We didn't even vent. We got to work. For 3 months, I played the part of the doting, oblivious husband. I'd kiss Sloane goodbye while she headed to her conferences, all while Clara and I were building a digital paper trail that could span the Atlantic. We tracked the bank transfers Julian was making into a secret account for Sloane and the business expenses Sloane was charging to our joint credit card for lingerie she never wore for me. The final act was Sloane's grand gallery opening. It was the event of the season. She'd invited everyone who mattered. Julian was there, acting like the sophisticated benefactor, standing right next to Sloane as she basked in the spotlight. I waited until the room was at its peak, until the local press was snapping photos. I walked through the front doors, but I wasn't alone. I had Clara on my arm, looking like $1,000,000 in a dress Julian had supposedly bought for an out-of-town client. The silence that hit the room was heavy. Sloane's wine glass actually slipped from her hand, shattering on the marble floor. Julian looked like he'd forgotten how to breathe. I didn't make a scene. I just walked up to the podium, tapped the microphone, and smiled. "Pardon the interruption," I said, my voice echoing through the gallery. "I just wanted to thank Julian for his generosity, not just for the art, but for the $3,000 hotel bills he's been covering for my wife while I was working overtime to pay our rent." Beside me, Clara stepped forward and handed Julian a thick set of papers. "And Julian, these are for you. It's a petition for divorce and an itemized list of every marital asset you used to fund this little partnership, including the title to the house you're currently living in." The room exploded, not with noise, but with the frantic whispering of everyone Sloane had spent years trying to impress. Sloane lunged toward me, her face twisted into something unrecognizable. "Nolan, you're making a mistake. It was for the brand. It was for us." "No, Sloane," I replied, stepping back. "It was for you. And now, you can have all of it. The lies, the debt, and especially Julian. Because as of 5 minutes ago, I've already moved my life out of the apartment. The stable guy is officially off the clock." Clara and I walked out of that gallery together. We didn't go home to the mess. We went to a dive bar, ordered 2 greasy burgers, and enjoyed the most honest conversation I'd had in a decade. Sloane lost her gallery within a month. Without Julian's money or my stability, her lifestyle vanished like smoke. Me? I'm still working at the firm. But now, when I come home, the only thing waiting for me is the truth. And honestly, it's the most luxury I've ever felt.